friends, have you ever dreamt of jumping in a pool of chocolates, or visit a candy land, or live in a home with lots and lots of teddy bears?
Rachel, I have dreamt of living like a king and all the Legos working on my command.
That's a great dream, Pip. Today, I will tell you about a man who dreamt of a world where all the people are treated equally. His name is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin was a preacher and a human rights activist.
Oh, his dream was so different than mine, but I would love to listen to his story. Maybe I can dream big someday.
Martin fought for the equality of African American people and is considered one of the greatest champions of non-violence. His success is an inspirational story, and I am sure you would love to hear that. Martin Luther King was born on 15th January 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. Martin's name at birth was Michael King. His father was also called Michael King and mother was called Alberta King. His father was a pastor.
Why was Michael's name changed to Martin?
His father changed both their names to Martin Luther as he was influenced by the world-renowned German activist Martin Luther. Martin had an elder sister, Willie, and a younger brother, Alfred. He studied at the Booker T. Washington High School. Martin was an intelligent student and was allowed to skip the 9th and 12th grades. So he was allowed to attend the college just at the age of 15. Martin graduated from Morehouse College in 1948 with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in sociology.
Now what's sociology? I never heard of that.
It is the study of human societies or groups and their behavior.
That's interesting. I didn't know that society and behavior is also a part of studies.
In Morehouse, Martin studied about Henry David, and he was inspired by Henry's idea of civil disobedience.
Civil disobedience? What's that?
Let's break up the word to understand better. Civil means people. Disobedience means not follow the government laws. So, in civil disobedience, people do not follow the government laws and do peaceful protests. No violence.
Okay, just like Mahatma Gandhi did?
Absolutely. Martin won a fellowship and went to the Boston University, where he completed doctorate in theology in the year 1955. By then, Martin was already inspired by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi.
I heard Martin was a good speaker as well.
Yes, he is considered as one of the most influential speakers in the history. During his doctorate, Martin used his education, learnings, and his natural speaking abilities to form the basis of the human rights movement. While in Boston, Martin met Coretta Scott, who was attending the New England Conservatory Music nearby. They were married on 18th June 1953. Martin and Coretta became parents of 4 children.
What led to the movement led by Martin Luther King?
There's a story behind it. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks, an African American, was arrested for refusing to give her seat to a white person in a crowded bus in Montgomery, Alabama. After this incident, Martin and other activists planned a city-wide protest that would be known as the Montgomery Bus Boycott.
What's a boycott?
Boycott means not buying or not using. So, in the Montgomery Bus Boycott that lasted for about 380 days, people refused to ride on the city buses in Montgomery. This was the first protest led by Martin Luther King, and he was arrested by the police. But the boycott was a success, and more people became a part of Martin's movement.
So, did the government change the law?
Yes, the US Supreme Court said that inequality of any type should not be practiced during transportation. This law made Martin a national figure. He was being heard by the people and had earned many followers in his fight against inequality. Pip, do you remember when was Martin born?
Yes, I remember. He was born on 15th January 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia in the United States.
Correct. That means you're paying attention to what I say. In January 1957, Martin and a group of people formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or the SCLC. SCLC conducted non-violence protests and demonstrations to promote human rights and equality for all. In 1963, the SCLC organized a protest against inequality in Birmingham.
So, how was the protest? Another victory like the Montgomery Bus Boycott?
Not really. Martin was arrested and put to jail during the protest. During his time in the jail, Martin wrote "Letter from a Birmingham Jail," which became famous later. Later in the same year, Martin was the most important figure of the March on Washington, a movement for jobs and freedom, which was another step of his fight against inequality. On 28 August 1963, over 250,000 people of all races gathered in Washington, D.C. to raise their voice against inequality. It was here that Martin made his famous and inspirational "I Have a Dream" speech.
I have a dream speech? What's so special about it?
The speech was about the America where people would be respected equally, irrespective of their races. Martin was later named Time magazine's Man of the Year. By then, he had become one of the most influential change leaders in the history of America.
I heard he received the Nobel Prize.
You are correct. He received the Nobel Prize in the year 1964 at the age of 35. He was the youngest man to receive the Nobel Prize at that time. And you know, he gave away all the prize money, which was over $54,000, to help continue the important work of human rights movement. Finally, in 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act. The act made inequality illegal, which means all the people should be treated equally, irrespective of their races.
Wow, that must have been one of the greatest changes in the history of America.
Yes, it was. Over the next few years, Martin worked to get the African American the right to vote, and later he led peaceful movements for international peace and economic equality at various states in America.
One man set out to change the entire system and bring equality. A hero for sure.
On April 4, 1968, Martin was shot while standing on the balcony outside his hotel room in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 39 years old then.
Martin Luther King worked tirelessly to ensure that all the people, regardless of race, religion, or national origin, had equal opportunities and could live their life without fear of violence or discrimination.
In 1983, President Ronald Reagan declared the third Monday of January each year as a holiday to honor Martin. It is called the Martin Luther King Jr. Day, or the MLK Day. So friends, Martin Luther King had a dream, and he fought continuously to make his dream come true. Do you have a dream? If yes, do write to us about your dream in the comment box. And if you want to know more about Martin Luther King, then visit our website www.makemegenius.com to find facts, quiz, essay and quotes on Martin Luther King. We will come back with another inspirational story of a great personality. Till then, stay subscribed to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the interesting stories. And now, hop on to www.makemegenius.com. There's lots of interesting stuff waiting for you. See you soon.